Hey guys, it's Mrs. Cummings here. This is the Scoot math activity that we will be doing for the next couple days in math class. So today on October 4th in math class, we started an activity with these task cards, which are actually in this Google Slides presentation, which Mrs. Severick has uploaded on her Google Classroom. And I have pushed out to you guys this PDF document, which is where you're going to be showing all your work. There are 24 task cards. So that's what we're going to be doing for the next few days. So each of these videos that I create will be 8 questions a piece. So there will be 3 videos where I'm going through 8 different problems. So by Wednesday and Thursday, you guys will be done with this activity. You will make sure that just as I am doing the work in my Kami document, you are doing that work also, but you are also providing the answers. And when all 24 questions are finished, you will then turn it in to Mrs. Severick on her Google Classroom. So again, just to kind of check in with you, for example, I'm going to math block 3, and you will see that it says Nicole Cummings or Mrs. Cummings posted a new assignment. I pushed it out to 3 students, and it says Cummings copy of Scoot. That is the worksheet that you will be editing in Kami that you'll put on your work on. And then in case you want to try some of these by yourself, here are the adding and subtracting Google Slides, which is exactly this orange document that I have. All right. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go through 8 of these task cards where I will read you the problem and I will show them. I will show you how they need to be set up. So for this first one, the first question says, the average low temperature for one winter day is 10 degrees Fahrenheit. The low temperature on that day was actually -2. What is the difference in temperatures? So what you will do in your Kami document is, you have to understand that the difference, when you're looking for a difference in something, that means you're subtracting. So I'm going to take that 10 degrees and I'm going to subtract the -2. When we do that, it's really difficult. Let me make this a little bit darker so you can see. I'll make it in green and I'll do a little bit of a bigger font. So when I set up that problem, 10 minus -2, I have to remember that when I'm subtracting integers that involve negatives, that I'm going to do keep it, change it, flip it, or I'm going to keep and add the opposite. So I'm keeping the 10, I'm changing the subtraction to addition, and I'm flipping the -2 to its opposite. The opposite of a -2 would be a +2. So from there, I have 10 plus 2, and that's a pretty easy addition problem that you can now solve on your own. You will put the answer in the blank. So now I'm going to go ahead and read the second task card that you will do. Question number 2, or task card number 2, says, write an addition expression that is equivalent or the same as 65 minus 79. So if I were you, I would rewrite the problem 65 minus 79, and then underneath, or right over here on the line where it says addition expression, you're going to write the new addition expression that is keeping, changing, and flipping what you already have. Once you write that down, you're going to go ahead and solve that problem and write the answer on the line that says evaluate. All right, so you should have this, you should have an addition sentence, and you should have the answer underneath. We're now going on to question or task card number 3. The expression x minus 4 represents a negative integer. What integers could x represent? So on here, you could give an inequality sign. You could say something like x and then we can think of what it has to be. So we need x represents a negative integer. What integers could x represent? So x minus 4, x minus 4 has to give us an answer that is negative. So if we wanted a negative answer, well, if we did 4 minus 4, that would give us 0. That wouldn't give us a negative. So what number could give us a negative 1? What minus 4 could give us a negative 1? Well, 5 minus 4 would give us a positive 1, so we don't want to get bigger. We already said 4 minus 4 would give us 0, so we have to get smaller than 4. 3 minus 4 would give us a negative integer. It would give us negative 1. If we do smaller integers like 3 and smaller, we could get a negative integer. So we want an answer that is less than 4. So I'm writing x has to be less than 4. It has to be 3, 2, it has to be 1, it has to be 0, it could be negative 1, something like that. So our answer could say x has to be, or we can say x can be less than 4. And then we could list a couple if you want. We could say it could be 3, 2, 1, 0, negative 1, So that's what my answer says. Yours can look similar, it could be a little bit different, but that's what I'm putting for task card number 3. All right, so now we're on task card number 4. This one's a little bit longer. Gina works in a clothing store. At noon, she has $125 in the cash register. James gives her $60 for a sweater, and she gives him $7 change. Hannah then gives her $40 for a blouse and receives $3 change. Use a series of addition equations to find out how much money Gina has in her cash register at the end of these sales. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to start with what she starts with in her cash register, and that number would be 125. And they want us to write an addition sentence. So we're saying 125. James gives her 60, so then it's getting, her cash register is getting bigger by 60. And then she's giving him change, so she's taking money out. So I'm going to write that as a negative 7 because she's giving that change away. And that's all I'm really going to help you for right there. You have to now continue this addition sentence with the remaining numbers. So then it says Hannah gives her 40. Well, that would be an addition because she's putting it in the cash register. But then she's giving out $3 in change, and that would be a negative integer. So finish writing this addition sentence, and then you can actually add them together and see what answer you get. I'm just writing that there to make sure you know that you have to still fill in a couple more numbers to actually complete that sentence. All right, I'm going on to question number 5, or task card number 5. Task card number 5 says Indy, Mark, and Tess each pick a slip of paper with a subtraction expression written on it. The person holding the card with the greatest value wins a prize. So we're looking for the greatest value. Who wins the prize? So if I were you, I would just write the sentences that they give you. So we've got 2 minus 3, which equals, and what would that be as an addition sentence? Keep it, change it, flip it. That'll be easier to think about, and then you can find the answer that Indy has. Mark is negative 7 minus negative 4. So again, you can do keep, change, flip. which will put it in an addition sentence, which might be easier for you to solve. So does Mark have the greatest value? And then Tess has a -1 minus a -7. So again, do that one on your sheet and figure out which one of these people wins the prize. Remember, it's the greatest value wins the prize. Okay. And again, it might be easier for you to do keep, change, flip for each of those problems. So you have an addition problem, which might make it easier for you to do. Moving on to task card number 6. It says the table shows the highest and lowest elevations in Louisiana. What is the difference between the elevations? Remember, when we're talking about difference, we're talking about subtraction. A lot of people are getting confused by that. When we're finding the difference, we are subtracting. In this situation, we're subtracting -8 from 535. So we're starting at 535 and we're minusing a -8. Remember, if I were you, I would be doing keep, change, flip. Keep it and add the opposite, same thing, and then it's easier for you to find the answer in feet. Moving on to task card number 7. Kelly's dad compares her running times in a marathon to her times for last year's race. He records whether she has increased or decreased her time for the first 3 stages of the race. What is the total increase or decrease in Kelly's time? Did she improve her time? Explain. So she started at 4, then added -7, and then added -3. So you can go ahead and you could do 4 plus -7 plus -3. I'm sorry, I did minus. This question's a little bit confusing, honestly. So we're comparing her first round was a +4. So it seems like that'd be an increased time, but then she decreased it by -7 and then decreased it by -3. So here you're going to say whether or not she increased or decreased her time. You're right, increase or decrease. Here it says what was her total increase or decrease. So the answer you got here, and then did she improve her time, and then be a yes or no. I guess the more negative time she has, the better it would be because you want to shave minutes off. So that one's a little bit confusing. If you are stuck on that problem, we can ask Mrs. Severick a little bit about that problem because I did not hear her go over that one for today. So try your best, and I will answer any questions, or Ms. Severick can answer questions for you tomorrow when we go over this. All right, the last one I'm going to be recording in this video is going to be number 8. It says 2 friends are playing a game with a spinner that has positive and negative numbers on it. Each player takes turns spinning the spinner. The table shows the results of the first 4 rounds. The team score at the end of each round is found by subtracting player 2's score away from player 1's score. For example, round 1, you're doing 2 minus 12 equals 2 plus -12 equals 10. So team score for round 1 is 10. Again, that's a little bit confusing, but it looks like we're just doing 2 minus 12. I'm sorry. They did 2 minus 12. She did keep, change, flip, and change that to 2 plus -12 and got 10. Sorry, that looked confusing when she wrote it out like that, but that's just making it keep, change, flip. So you already know the first round. So round 1, they give us the total and they say that it is -10. The second round, I would just write the whole problem out here. and I would say negative 5 minus negative 10. Oops, sorry. Negative 5 minus negative 10. Then you would do keep, change, flip. So keep the negative 5, change it to a plus, and make that negative 10 a positive 10. Once you do that, write down the answer. Do the same thing for number 3. So negative 5 minus 2. Do keep, change, flip, and figure it out. And then round 4, you're doing 8 minus negative 4. And you're doing keep, change, flip, and you're getting the final score. Which of those teams ended up getting the highest score? So that is our video for the first 8 task cards. I will be making a video for the next 4, which will be 9 through, I believe, 16. And then I'll make one more video, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. So I'll make a video for 9 through 16, and then I will make another video for 17 through 24. So complete those first 8, and the next video should be uploaded by tomorrow.